You hear real estate agents talking all the time about scaling their business, taking their real estate business to the next level and doing all of these things. And like it motivates the younger people starting off or even older people who are starting off. But have you ever stopped and wondered, is your business even ready to be taken to the next level? Well, if you're a realtor watching this video, we're going to find out. For those of you who don't know, my name is Jacob. I'm the co-founder here at Eden. And we help real estate agents grow their business using powerful online brand and marketing strategies to do so. And today, I'm going to share with you the top 5 signs that's going to tell us if you're ready to scale your business or not. Sign number 1 that you are ready to scale your business is that you have closed deals. You shouldn't be looking at ways to bring in the most amount of leads possible if you don't have already a few deals under your belt. And by a few deals, some people, it kind of depends where you're at in the market you're in, how much experience you really need. But our typical rule of thumb is if you've closed like 6 to 7 deals in the last 12 months, that is typically enough for realtors to at least go from part-time to full-time and therefore bring in more volume because they can handle it. So if you've been able to close that 6 to 7 deals in the past 12 months, you're off to a good start. If you don't have these closed deals under your belt and you start going after these different scaling methods and trying to bring in as many leads as you can, and you don't have like a solid buying or selling process that you can lead your clients through, they're not going to feel very confident working with you. They're going to want someone who's done this before. And I'm not saying be that realtor who's like, oh, I have all the experience and that's all that matters. I've done this 100 times. No, I'm not saying that's the most important thing. The most important thing is your personality and your brand and how you do business. People are going to want to do that. However, having proven or at least tried running through different sales processes with your clients to figure out what people like, what people don't like, and figuring that out is going to allow you to handle a bigger volume of leads with a lot more ease. All right, sign number 2 is that you've exhausted your network. Typically, when real estate agents start off, you can usually find somebody who's moving within your circle, somebody who's looking to buy or sell, or even invest, whether it's family, friends of family, close friends, friends of a friend. You can typically find someone who's moving, and sometimes that can snowball into a few deals. I've seen people build the first few years of their business solely off of their friends and family, especially depending how connected you are in your community. Are you part of any sports groups, book clubs, whatever it is? I'm not saying be that annoying realtor that walks around with their business card. Hey, are you thinking of selling? Hey, are you thinking of selling? No, but just be able to provide value. And so sometimes the easiest way to let people know subtly what you do is posting content online. So really just get the word out that you do what you do a good job at what you do, and exhaust that sphere of influence first before moving on to something else. All right, so sign number 3 kind of ties into what we were saying back with sign number 1. And this is that you want to have systems in place. Now, there's so many systems. All business is a series of systems that work together to make something run. And you might not even know some of the systems that you need yet just because you haven't figured out those problems, right? So I'm not just talking about, okay, your buyer process and your seller process, like we talked about earlier. Like it's the 2 foundational things. When a buyer comes into your life, whether it's online, through a friend of a friend, through wherever it is, how are you walking them through the process of buying a house? At what point are you asking questions? Which questions are you asking? When are you sending them lists? When are you showing them home? When are they committing to working with you? Obviously, that depends on the laws of where you're at. What you want to do is just make sure you have that system in place. Same goes on the seller side for your listing presentation. What kind of advantages are these people going to be seeing through your listing presentation? Do you have one? Are you more of a messy show as you go, show up at the house and show them what you would do with it kind of guy? Are you someone who wants a PowerPoint? Like, what makes you special? And what is your process? And don't just copy someone else. Like, yes, don't reinvent the wheel, copy things that work, but put your own spin on it and make yourself stand out in some kind of way. And then other systems in your business could look like, how are you following up with your leads, right? So say maybe right now you're on a team and this team is feeding you some leads. What's your email follow-up like? What's your text follow-up like? Well, are you scheduling times for calls every Wednesday between 8 and 10 a.m. or whatever the time is? Like, have a routine and different systems in place for all the different parts of your business. And once you have some kind of foundation, then you're able to add more volume to it afterwards. Sign number 4, super simple. Are you full-time or are you part-time? Being able to scale a business requires you to be putting all your time and energy into your clients. And if you want to bring in more clients and do it well, they need to have the same attention and care that you were giving to your other clients. So if you're in this part-time, you have a other full-time commitment or part-time commitment or whatever it is, it's going to be really, really hard to deliver the quality of service you want to give that's going to allow your clients to give you good reviews and bring in more business, et cetera, et cetera. So I would highly recommend, once you reach the, obviously it depends where you are in the market and everything, but once you reach that 6-7 deal in 12 months kind of range, being able to evaluate your life, see, are you able at any moment, if you choose to start scaling, to jump ship of whatever it is that you have going on into full-time real estate. If you are able to do that, then great. You can probably start scaling while you're part-time and then jump when you can. But if you see that being an issue, you might have to run that risk of jumping and then burn the ships, get into it and start growing and start going. Obviously, this really depends on you, your situation. Are you part of a team? Are you not? Are you are you taking care of a family? Like, there's risk involved and you have to evaluate that. I'm not a life coach. I'm just a guy who helps realtors do exactly that. So anyways, are you full-time? Are you part-time? If you're full-time, jump in, take the risk, start scaling for sure. If you're part-time, just figure out what your options are and evaluate it accordingly. And finally, step 5, are you ready to invest in your growth? Any kind of significant growth or scaling results from an investment of your time, an investment of your money. Do you have the resources that you need to be able to do it? And I'm not like, yes, it's going to cost a lot of money, but there's smart things you can put that money towards that have been proven. I'm not saying everything is a guarantee because it's not, but use the things that have been working for other people and learn from their mistake. However, you using proven things, hope you can understand, costs more money because you're not the one personally taking on the risk yourself, right? So be prepared to invest. Typically, the smaller the investment, the longer it'll take you to get where you want to go. The bigger the investment of both money and time, the quicker you're going to get to where you want to go. Sometimes it's because you'll just make more and more mistakes and improve as you go and go faster and faster, or because you're paying to use like some systems or some programs that other people have done and tested and made the mistakes for you to allow you to scale. So be prepared to invest the time and the money that you need to scale. Okay, so let's go over the 5 signs and see where you stand. If you're closing consistent deals, if you've exhausted your network of people, if you have your systems in place, if you're full-time or ready to go full-time at a moment's notice, and if you have the time and the money to invest, you are in a place where you can scale your business. Now remember, scaling is about working smarter, not necessarily harder. So if you need any help with streamlining your systems, developing a personal brand, creating content, generating some leads online, whatever it is, I've dropped my personal calendar in the description below where you can book a one-on-one call with me if you're interested in potentially scaling your business. If you feel like you're at the right spot, if you're ready to take that step. Make sure to hit that like button if you feel like you learned something today. And if you're not exactly at the point where you're ready to start scaling and leveling up your business online and generating a bunch more leads, then make sure to drop a comment below and tell me what you are working on. What are the things you are working on in your business at the moment? Drop any questions you have about the things we talked about, and I'll be more than happy to answer them in the comments below. All that being said, hope you guys have a great day. Take care.